Besties, this is something I swore I would never do when I got a camera like this, but I'm doing it. I'm doing a vlog. I know. I'm sorry, but I can't resist. I have J. Piercy Priest Lake in the background. I'm currently Nashville, about a half hour outside of Nashville. I've been camping here. This is day 6, I think. And I wanted to do this vlog to let you guys know how my trip is going. Holy cow, if you ever have a chance to do a trip, it doesn't have to be some crazy trip like this, but if you've been thinking about doing a trip or you're planning for one, I highly recommend doing it because overall it's been really incredible. So let's talk about the states that I've been through. So the trip started off in Southern California, went through Arizona, spent a night in Tucson with a friend, went through New Mexico, then into El Paso, Texas. I was there for 2 nights. After El Paso, I went to Fredericksburg, Texas, spent maybe just 1 night there. After Fredericksburg, I did Houston for a night, San Antonio for a night, and then after San Antonio, I went into Louisiana and was in New Orleans for a night. Then I went north to Alabama and camped 2 nights in Tuscaloosa. First time in Alabama, love Alabama. After that, I went to Murfreesboro, Tennessee for a night, then to Georgia, Atlanta for a night, then to Chattanooga, Tennessee for a night, then Lynchburg for a night, and now this is 6 nights in Nashville. So, so far I've driven a grand total of 3,983.1 miles, and this is day 23. It's been crazy. It's been really crazy. I've handled the driving a lot better than I thought I would. But the reason why I'm on this trip, I want to reiterate, I mentioned Seth Godin's book, Linchpin, in becoming a gift giver. So I've been obsessed with field recording for the past 3 or 4 years now, and there's this one activity in particular called Drum and Bugle Corps, and I wanted to follow them and do recordings for them. So the basis of this trip is to follow them while they're on tour competing, record as much as possible, and then give them those recordings. And whoever else wants to listen to them, I'll post a link somehow. I haven't found out or decided how I'm going to do the link, but if anyone's interested in hearing these recordings, the more people the merrier. So when I left for the trip, it was a Monday. I think it was the 15th, July 15th. And I was waiting on this double mid-side rig, and it was coming from a retailer in the UK, and it came down to the wire. I had them send it by that Monday by 11 a.m. It was supposed to come by 11. I wanted to leave much earlier, but I was like, I gotta wait. So I waited until 12:45 and it still wasn't there. And I said, screw it. I was sending it to my parents' house. I told my parents, I said, hey, I'll be visiting family in El Paso, Texas for 2 days. Send it there and then I'll get it there. Got on the freeway. As soon as I got on the freeway, Mom called, it's here. Got off on that second exit, went there, opened the box. It was glorious. Packed everything and then left. So the first opportunity that I was going to have to record was in Houston. And the whole point of this rig is that it records in surround. So the brass line that I'm recording is going to arc up, or not arc up, but they're going to circle up. I'm going to be in the middle. I'm going to place this rig in the middle and record them. Well, Houston, they called an audible that night. And it was this grass field with really long grass. It was at Houston State University or something. But it was this really big field where the grass was long. And when the members stood on it, there were ants and there were spiders, and they just did not feel good standing in this field. So they moved it to this asphalt street type area where everyone was going to be in front of me, and I would place the mic, you know, the mic cluster here, and they would be in front of me. Well, that was a major bummer for me, because, you know, for years I've been wanting this rig. For 5-6 months at least I've been planning on buying it. I finally bought it. I had to wait forever. I get it, my first opportunity to record them, and I'm not going to be surrounded by them. So I was kind of bummed. But the good thing for me is we were in between two buildings. So there was buildings directly behind them. Behind me was a grass field and then more buildings. So because this rig is designed to record and surround, I was hoping that I'd be able to capture the reflections, because it's a brass line that's playing very, very loud. So there's going to be reflections. So I was hoping that my rig would record those reflections and you'd be able to get a sense of the space that we were in. That recording came out really well. The next night we were in San Antonio. San Antonio is hot, humid. They had a show at the Alamo Dome, and again, I'm ready. I'm there early, I'm ready, I'm sweating. They called another audible. They said, hey, we have an opportunity to record indoors. We're gonna record indoors at the facility. Well, this activity, Drum and Bugle Corps, they're very particular about who has access to things, so you need badges to get in. I don't have a badge, I'm not a part of this group, I'm just a groupie. My contact for the group is like one of the lead instructors for brass. I didn't want to bother him with, hey, can you get me a pass? Because he has a group that he's trying to get ready to, you know, perform. So I was like, cool, you guys are going to go indoors, good for you. Probably wouldn't have been the best recording anyways, because it would have been stupid loud, and, you know, I really wanted the outdoors. So 2 nights in a row, that put an end to that. But there are other groups there. So I was bummed. I was bummed for a while, but hey, there are other groups there. The group that was in the lead, still in the lead, they're still in first place, Blue Coats. They have an incredible drum line. So I was like, great, I'm gonna go record the Blue Coats drum line. And the way that, sorry, that was a boat. That scared the heck out of me for a second. Oh, here we go. So there was a boat that went by, and now the waves are going to kick up. Hopefully I don't get soaked. We're going to see. I may be standing up. So the way that they set up the Blue Coats drum line is they set up in a horseshoe. So I was here, the front was here. So here was a line of bass drums. Here was like 9 snares, and then here was like 9 tenors, or 5 tenors. So 5 basses, 5 tenors, 9 snares. And in the middle is the caption head with the drum set. So I placed it right here, my rig right here, and got them this way. And it was fantastic. I got video of it too. I'll be making a video for that. But it sounded great. Now those 2 nights, Houston and San Antonio, I got Matt Boudreau, who I've had on Podcst Bestie before. I interviewed him about mastering. I hired him to mix these in surround. Matt went above and beyond what I thought I was going to get back from him. I mean, I knew it was going to be good. The guy's a really great mixing engineer, tracking engineer too, drummer as well. I knew I was going to get something good. What I got back was phenomenal. So he gave me 3 formats for mixes. He gave me Apple Spatial Audio, which is the like Atmos, I guess, type, yeah, Atmos, because it has head tracking. I'll get to that in a second. Apple Spatial Audio, binaural, and stereo. So he mixed both the horn line and the drum line, all 3 of those formats. Now here's what the Apple Spatial Audio does. If you have AirPod Maxes or Pros, and you have an Apple device where Atmos is enabled, you have head tracking. So if I'm listening to something and I put on headphones, just a rock band, wherever I move my head, everything follows me, right? Because I have a left speaker here, a right speaker here. So if the band's set up like, you know, there's a guitar, a drummer, and a bass, when I turn my head, it's still guitar, drummer, bass. But with the Apple Spatial Audio, if I have a horn line in front of me and I put on these AirPods or the Air Maxes and I turn my head, they're still there. So you get the sense that you're in that space. It's pretty rad. It's subtle, but it's pretty rad. So I have that, and then I have binaural. If you don't have the AirPods, it's fine. You can listen to the binaural, and the binaural sounds great. Binaural's gonna be, I don't want to say a step up from stereo, but it's different from stereo in that it mimics our ears as opposed to just a stereo field. A stereo field is, you know, you pan things left, right, center, or whatever. Binaural is going to give you maybe a more immersive feel. So it's great. I'm really glad he did those. I'm glad I paid for those. Next week, or this week when I'm in Indy, which is where I'll be next, I'm going to record finals. I'm going to record Beatty's drum line and Beatty's horn line again, and I'm going to have a mix of them again. Yeah, so I mean, that's, you know, the recap. Oh, last night, right at this space, I set up the DMS and I got ambience. And that was pretty awesome. There's an airport nearby, so I got some planes, but you always have to deal with planes. I got boats going by. Like a second ago when I was freaking out about the waves, anytime a boat goes by, it kicks up the waves. So even though right now it's really subtle, the waves kicked up, so I got that. Yeah, it's been great. On the way back, I'm jumping ahead. So this week, actually tomorrow morning, I'm going to Indy, and I'll be in Indy for 4 nights, and I'm going to be doing the last of the recordings there, and then this part of the trip is over. But then after that, I'm going to take a completely different route back. I'm going to go to probably Lansing, Michigan to visit a high school friend, Chicago to visit family, Fort Madison, Iowa, right? Idaho's west coast. Iowa to visit more family, and then I think I'm going to do Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, then back to Texas, and then back home. But, you know, I don't have I don't know how long that's going to take. It can take as long or as short as I want it to. I'm not in a rush to get back. So, yeah, that's it. The trip's great. I've thoroughly enjoyed doing this. I will link to those recordings or add you to a Google Drive if you're interested. Please, if you guys have any questions at all, let me know about field recording, mixing, editing, whatever. But I appreciate you watching this. I hope you got something from it, possibly, when I was talking about how to record. Hopefully that helps. Oh, one last thing I want to mention. This setup I have right here, I cannot recommend it enough for content creators. I'm shooting this on a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and this is the DJI Mic 2. Absolutely fantastic combo. It's incredible, very small. It's got a built-in gimbal. I'm staring at the screen the whole time. The audio is going to be, I mean, it's great. I might do a separate video on this just to show you, but it's man, I like GoPros. GoPros have their place, but this is a huge step up from a GoPro in my opinion. So that'll be the last thing. DJI Osmo Pocket 3 if you're interested. Ask me questions. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Appreciate you watching the video. Talk to you soon. Bye.